Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Fusilai, the brand new Throne Dagger secondary, introduced in Update 22, the Plains of Eidolon. The Fusilai is the secondary in Gara's weapon bundle, so it is aesthetically themed after Gara and the glass frame. Overall, they're not bad. I'm not a terribly big fan of thrown daggers to begin with, but these are alright. Of all the weapons in the bundle, I'm just kind of medium on this one, as far as my excitement goes. But we're going to go through some basic stats, how to acquire the weapon, I'm going to show off some builds, and then we're going to finish up. The blueprint for the Fusilai is available from the marketplace for 20,000 credits. Mastery rank 5 is required to wield it. The base physical damage for this weapon is 77, the highest of any secondary in the game. It deals mostly slash and secondarily in puncture damage, only secondary thrown dagger to primarily deal slash damage. The primary fire mode has a 19% crit chance, a 1.7 crit multiplier, and a 27% status chance. Now, this weapon does feature a secondary fire mode where you basically throw a horizontal line of 3 daggers at enemies. The secondary fire mode has a slightly higher status chance and a drastically lower crit chance. I don't like it. You also, because it requires 3 daggers to be able to pull off, you can't use that particular fire mode if you don't have at least 3 daggers in your mag, which can be a little tricky. It requires you to constantly be paying attention to how much ammo you have, and I just don't like that. I just like to whip knives. I just like to whip knives at people. 6 rounds in the magazine, 0.8 second reload time, and a 2.83 rounds per second fire rate. They're not bad. They're definitely not a bad set of throwing daggers. I've noticed that they have a little bit more travel time and a little bit more of an arc than I'm used to typically with thrown daggers. What I mean by that is that they're a little harder. You have to plan ahead a little bit more when you fire them, because the knives sink faster than what I'm used to with something like the Despair or the Speria Prime. So take that into account and just be ready for that when you use this weapon, because it will take a little bit to get used to, especially over long distances. You really have to be able to wing those knives a little higher. Now this is the build with a 19% crit chance and a 27% status chance. I decided to go a hybrid build: Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent, obviously, damage, multi-shot, fire rate, Prime Target Cracker, Primed Pistol, Gambit for your crit chance and crit damage. The crit damage does leave a little bit to be desired for this particular weapon. A 1.7 is kind of low. In comparison, the Speria Prime has a 2.5 crit multiplier. I would say the Speria Prime was definitely the closest contender to this weapon as far as what could be better, or is this weapon a side grade. That being said, not super happy with the 1.7, but that's life. And then for the last 3 slots, I just have the dual stat mods for elemental damage and status chance, and basically whatever whatever elements you need for the faction that you're fighting. Now this build has a 66% chance to crit and a 99.1% chance to inflict status effects, which is great. The fire rate does leave a bit to be desired with the status chance. Typically, with status chance weapons, you want a lot of fire rate to inflict as many status procs as humanly possible. And with semi-automatic weapons, it's questionable whether or not they're truly viable or not. Personally, I like this weapon, and I think that it works with the status chance, especially if you utilize the secondary fire, which, like I said, personally I don't like it, but the status chance for it is massive, and you can really inflict, if you can land those daggers on enemies, it's much easier to strip armor or confuse with radiation. So, that being said, they're not bad daggers. They're definitely not bad daggers. I would say they're not quite top tier. I still think the Spearia Prime are the top thrown daggers in the game, but the Fusilai are definitely a respectable set. And because they have that secondary fire, they offer something that other thrown daggers don't really have, which is pretty cool. Overall, like I said, very solid damage, very solid status chance. If you wanted to, we'll do a little theory crafting here on the modding, run Gunslinger instead of, run a 4th 60/60 mod and Gunslinger instead of the 2 crit chance mods, and I think that you'd have a blazing fire rate and enough status chance that you would be proccing like crazy. You'd lose a lot of damage though. Guys, you can mod you can mod this weapon however you'd like. If you want to run pure crit chance and pure crit damage and run 390% elemental damage mods, that's up to you. Alright, I'm just here to offer suggestions and let you guys make up your own mind as far as how to mod the weapons. Either way, they're not bad. They're definitely very respectable daggers. And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do have a Facebook and a Twitter. Those are down below. Check out some other videos. I do have an Astilla video and a Gara video builds for both of those as well. And I have more stuff coming very soon as well. Until next time, I've been your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.